What is going on YouTube? This is Jim back with another quick video. Today, taking a look at Gears Pop. I am playing this on my iPhone XS, and I'm recording it with the built-in iPhone screen capture. I do have an external mic plugged in, and I am shouting my brains out in a hope that some of this background noise, which I guess I could turn off, at least the music portion, won't be as loud. Maybe you'll be able to hear me a little bit better. But let's talk about what Gears Pop is and why I think it's a cool idea, although a little heavy on the microtransaction side. So Gears Pop is basically a lane push game where you are trying to take out the enemy while they are simultaneously trying to take you out. And unlike other games, this game is played against other people in real time. A lot of games you'll play against somebody's ghost, or you'll play against a computer. In this case, you're actually playing against somebody who's doing exactly what you're doing right now. And there's a couple different modes. There is versus mode, where it's one-on-one. That's the mode I just mentioned. There is a boot camp mode, which puts you through tactical challenges, and sometimes there's different rules or objectives in play. It's not just a traditional match. There's your just general practice. And there's also horde mode, which teams you up with another human against the computer, which is actually a lot of fun because the computer has since you're both pushing one lane, the computer spawns a significantly large amount of resources. This would actually be really fun to play, I think, if you could coordinate with somebody on a telephone or whatever. And since this game is available on other platform right now on the computer, that might be a better way to play it. It's a little hard to play it on your phone when you can't talk to people, because if you coordinate stuff, you can do some really amazing things. How it works is you get all these notifications. How it works is you get all of these units, and they're called pins in this game. So here is my current loadout on the top portion of my screen of all of the pins that I have in play. And you can see here that some of them have levels, like level 1, level 2. Then down here, these are other pins that I am not currently using. And then down here is a list of pins that I have yet to find. Pins are your playable units. So, for example, Marcus Phoenix costs 5 energy to play, and when you drop him down on the field, this is what he does. He's what they call a bruiser, which basically is a run-and-gun type, and he's really good against certain units, and he's not so good against other units. And there you can see his statistics. The reason it says 4 of 7 is because I am 3 pins away from upgrading Marcus Phoenix to a level 3 pin, which will give him more hit points or more range or more damage or something. This is where the pay to win element really comes into play. Your Marcus Phoenix that is level 1 costs you 5 energy to play. Your Marcus Phoenix that's level 99 or whatever the current cap is still 5 energy to play. So if I spent real money on this game and I got more Marcus Phoenix pins, and you played a Marcus Phoenix and I played a Marcus Phoenix, it's both going to cost us the same amount of energy, but mine is going to absolutely wreck you. That's where the pay to win portion comes into play. Now, after every battle, you do get pins and you throw them in a pile. I actually have some here, so you can see I have enough money to upgrade my shot grenade. And by doing so, I'll cash in some of my pins and I'll get a little bit more damage. So I'll go ahead and do that now just so you can see what that looks like. You get a cute little animation, and it drains away, the level. The level starts over, and I get a little bit more damage. Now it would cost me more energy to continue, and so on and so forth. I could actually do it again. You can see the bar is still green. I actually have enough resources to continue leveling this piece up. Now, where it really comes into play is resource management. You have some really high-powered cards like this one. This is a Lancer Crew, which is 6 energy. That's a lot of energy to spend on the battlefield. I currently don't have it in play, and there's probably going to be a lot of strategies that come out in this game talking about should you, bombard your enemy with a bunch of low point cards, or should you try to do, save up for big hitters like Marcus Phoenix or the Boomer, for example. Those are things that I think the game will naturally kind of work itself out. You can't see what your opponent has in play until you start playing. So it's not like you can build a deck against them. It's just kind of like what you have there. So that's basically how the pin system works. That's your unit system. You could see here, first and foremost, or I should say up front, They do have a store that there are deals that appear. They have a timer element to them. You can buy gear packs and use real money to buy crystals and get more upgrades if you want. I don't think I'll be spending any money on this game at this point, but if you're interested, they do have daily deals and that sort of thing. There are also daily quests you can do under the mission tab that will earn you additional currency. This is very similar to most free-to-play games that allow you to earn a small amount of currency over time. It also has an achievement system, so if you are currently tied into your Xbox One account, you can log in with that, and these achievements will go towards your gamer score. There's a social tab, which allows you to join different crews or guilds. You can have a block list. There's an inbox where you get notifications from the studio with additional treasures and boxes and that sort of thing. And that's basically how you navigate the game. Now, you can see here that because I've won a couple Horde matches, I do have a couple packs. I'll open up one so you can see what it looks like. You basically unlock additional pins. So you're always going to get some sort of currency. This is kind of the funny money that goes into the game. There you can see I got a couple pins to work on upgrading my frag. I got a couple more cards to work on my shepherds.
Let's get him!
I've got a new Clayton Carmine card, which is cool because I love Carmine. So now you see that I have a Carmine thing. If we go back to my pin collection, you will see now that Carmine has been unlocked. He is a 5-card hero, and if I wanted to, I could insert him into my deck. I'm not going to at this point, but I could if I wanted to. So as you play, you will unlock more chests to continue, leveling up. So we'll go ahead and just do a quick versus match so you can get kind of an idea of what happens. Again, this happens in real time. So whoever I'm playing against right now is playing, against me, and they're looking at my screen. What you want to do essentially is, you see in the upper right-hand corner of Marcus, there's like a little wall icon there. That means he'll hug the wall. And as you hug the wall, you'll notice that there are these blue grids for me, red for the enemy, that fill up. And over time, what's happening is I am taking over those grids. As I continue to take over grids, my spawn point will increase if I have both the left and right grids. So you can see I can only spawn one unit right now in front of my turrets because that's basically my wall. And what I'm trying to do is push into the enemy. You can see this is the only place I could spawn, right? What I'm trying to do is push into the enemy camp so that I can capture, blow up their turrets and kind of work my way up. And that's basically how this game is played. You're just going to be throwing units down the left or right wall. Every so often, like in this case, I used an ultimate. In this case, a bunch of little juvies pop out. He just threw his out. I'm throwing mine out to counter. And you're basically trying to destroy one line of the enemy's base. And that's it. That's really the game. Every single mode you play will be this. You can see at the bottom there how many energy pills I have. Those fill up over time. With the last minute of gameplay, what will actually happen is you'll do double, so you'll actually be able to drop units significantly faster. There's a debate, whether it makes sense to push a lane entirely or to, like force everything down one lane or, kind of balance out. Clearly the person I'm playing against doesn't have a very good idea of what they're doing, and I say that because you can see the entire right side of the lane. I've already decimated their lane, so I'm just going to push hard on the left now. With a minute left, we get double points, so you'll start to see that meter at the bottom fill up significantly faster. Go ahead and call in a butcher, and you can see why it's so important to capture those defenses on the side and work your way up the ladder that way, because what ultimately happens is, look at how much farther I can spawn my units now as opposed to my opponent. I'm way up in his line. So this game does have a very sandbaggy feel to it, in terms of if you really lag, you can definitely like zerg your opponent, so to speak. I'm dumping units on his front door. There's very limited stuff you can do at this point. And unfortunately, a lot of the games go this way. So it's basically just throw units out, try to counter the best you can, get units out of the lane as quickly as possible. Once you capture those units, you start spawning bigger units up the center. You try to overwhelm one side, and then you really focus on the other lane. You get a little cutscene here. It's kind of cute. I assume they're gonna add more cutscenes later. The little head pops off. And you see him chasing his head in the background in a second as it rolls away. There you go. I get a little bit of money in the game. I get a loot box. I get some currency, and life goes on. And that is the game. That's everything. This is everything you have, except for the Horde mode, as I mentioned. The Horde mode will put you against with another player. That's why it's nice to join a guild, so you have that option. But it's okay. I just wish that really the pay-to-win piece, that's what really bothers me. I really focus on this. And you have some really cool cards down here that do a lot of really good things. Like, for example, Dominic being an epic, I really suspect it's going to be very hard before we unlock epic cards in our boxes. I suspect eventually in the store, they're going to basically sell a Dominic at some point, and they're going to say, oh, we guarantee a card of a certain rarity, or we guarantee you could just straight out buy, you know, a Dominic instead of having it thrown out for random chance. But it's fun. I don't know if I'll stick with it too much. I mean, Blades is still my mobile game of choice right now, but I guess in the downtime while I'm waiting for Blades to cool off, you know, I guess there's a chance that maybe, I don't know, I start playing a little bit more, dabble into it. I feel like most people are going to jump into it, play it for a couple days, get what they think is good gear, or good cards, I should say, and then they'll probably go up against somebody who has paid a lot of money, and they're going to get wrecked. The last thing I want to point out with the experience, you saw me win there. I didn't really get a lot of experience points. So in terms of leveling up my account, to get an opportunity to get better cards, really focuses more on upgrading your cards here. That's really, unfortunately, the kind of the drawback of this system is that you really have to pay not only to get better cards, but you really have to kind of pay to work your way up the experience ladder. You saw there, I went ahead and upgraded my shot grenade again, and my experience went from 7 experience to 16 experience. Well, if I was throwing money at this and I could unlock, going back to the store again, if I could unlock and get myself a guaranteed Marcus Phoenix upgrade, right? That's basically buying not only a better Marcus Phoenix, that's also basically buying experience, which ties into the rarity of the drops that I get down here for my chests. Really kind of full circle embodies that payment model. And I get it, free to play. You have to make money somehow, but this seems a little shady to me. So, especially with the PvP element, that's, I think, really where it's going to be hard to have some sustainment. I think if they go back to the drawing board and maybe they have this where you can play more against computer, not just in horde mode, but just casual, I think you may get more casual players. But if you're only going to spend a couple dollars on this, you might as well not do it. This is going to be one of those games where you're all in and you're going to basically spend a ton of dough, or you're going to walk away and say, well, you know, maybe I won't spend any money on this, but I understand I'm probably going to get walloped as I continue my progression up the ladder. So with that, I'd like to close out this video. I hope you guys found it informative. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.